All right, that's Ben Farrell there. He was right at the SIPS Africa conference. All right, let's get a check on what's playing out with the markets that we track, starting with on the African continent, and it's positive, still positive, at this point. We see the NGX has a positive territory, 0.51%, and 146,000 still on price discovery there. These two markets in price discovery at this point. Johannesburg Stock Exchange, that's still sitting on 100,000 level. That's for the all share index. Not sure if it's comfortable there fully, but 0.53%. All right, let's turn our attention to this market. That's the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. That's also hitting new highs. Let's talk to Surfas Badenhorst. He's a lead portfolio manager, Western Cape Momentum Securities. Amelie, it's great to have you on the show. So, looking at the NGX and the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, at this point, I don't know who's copying who, at this point, but they're both at all-time highs, and I guess they're chasing higher highs, at this point. What factors would you say are contributing to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange All-Share Index, reaching this historic 100,000 points milestone?
Well, I think on the JSE, it was quite prevalent to see that the mining companies actually had a major boost the first 6 months of this year. So I think it was quite common knowledge that the market was expecting the US dollar to weaken. And with the Fed actually not cutting interest rates, we saw the opposite. So the US dollar staying stronger, and then obviously the rand, the commodity exporters gaining from that as well. So definitely the mining companies keeping the all share at around 100,000 points. We've seen some of the gold stocks as well as platinum stocks do more than 100% for the last 6 months. So definitely one of the reasons why we're up there.
All right, and happening around the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Another one, there's an exploration of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange trading 24 hours. That's 24 hours a day. That's non-stop trading to the next day. What do you think is motivating, this move here?
I think the motivation is just for the JSE to stay in touch with market trends. We've seen the New York Stock Exchange as well as the NASDAQ, as well as the London Stock Exchange apply for extended trading hours. And technically, if you think about it, the world is trading 24 hours a day. If the JSE ends, the American market opens. If the American market closes, the Asian and Australian markets open. So it's just a way of staying on top of things, and especially with a lot of dual listeds that we're seeing on all the exchanges, it might be a good thing for the world actually to get into that rhythm.
And do you think the stockbrokers can keep up with 24/7, 24-hour trading?
Well, hopefully the development of AI and also electronic measures would mean that human intervention would be to a limited extent. So hopefully that will come with all the new developments.
And there's also the JSE Trade Explorer Analytics platform. Tell us about that and how this, will impact investor demand and market gaps right now.
I think in essence, what the JSE is trying to do is just to make sure that there's more sophisticated data available to investors. I think the market depth and breadth is quite important. And especially from an investor or a retail investor point of view, information is sometimes very delayed, or not all information is available. And I think what this new developments will do is actually help close that gap between what is happening real time in the market and what is being portrayed to the world outside.
And looking at some of the stocks that have done pretty well in the first half of 2025. That's on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. What are you seeing for the second half? Which sectors do you think investors should actually be shifting focus to? Is it the laggards or maybe the ones that have already gone up at this point, like the likes we have on the screen there? We've seen MTN Group, that's up about 53% already year to date.
Well, I do think I'm quite a momentum bull, so I will stay with some of the winners that will probably continue to win. But obviously, the Trump administration making it quite difficult to see what the policies would be. But I would not exclude some of the likes that has been some of the losers. I think SA retail have a lot of potential and definitely undervalued. If you look at stocks like Mr. Price, Shoprite, Truist, definitely some upside potential in those stocks. So just make sure it's a decent balanced pick that you use with some of the winners that will continue to win and some of the laggards that will actually try start catching up.
We keep hearing, news about ShopRite divesting, from some African countries. I think the latest is Ghana. There's some kind of prospect there of them divesting from there. Is that a negative for the stock?
I don't think so. So the reason why disinvestment happens is exactly to be more streamlined and more focused in the markets where the company is actually on a good foot. So in all essence, it's actually cutting out some of the rotten apples and then focusing on the profitable areas of the business. So definitely more a positive stance than a negative one.
So are you saying the business in Ghana is a rotten apple? You don't have to answer that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Surface. Surface is Badenhorst is a lead portfolio manager at Western Cape Momentum Securities Middle East. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Big pleasure.